Hey, one of my ex-colleagues, Saleem Siddiqui, recently released a book called Learning Test-Driven Development. And I was just looking at it, and I saw sand free simple availability there. And I just sent it to um, my Kindle. So I thought, I'll just go through it. And Saleem uses just bare bones JavaScript without any test frameworks, and he has a good reason for doing that. And I learned that firsthand when I try to make everything work with Jest and TypeScript. So there is a little bit of overhead. The overhead is easy. Let's say you were using TypeScript and using Jest in your environment, which is most enterprise. So all you need to do is just add Jest, TypeScript, TS Jest, and add types Jest. Assert is the library Salim is using. And of course, I add Lodash because no Lodash, no life. Anyway, and immediately you can get your first test to work. And that means Jest and everything is working. By the way, I'm using Wallaby+Quokka. They come together. I think it is perfect for TDD, WallabyJS. They're Australian. So it will give you instant feedback as you're doing anything in a test. Wallaby is the test version of things. Quokka is anything that may run and load in a JS file. So I'll show both. Anyway, so right now this is Wallaby, and I have obviously a shortcut to start it and stop it. But think of it as you're writing tests that you're getting instant feedback, right? So it doesn't get any better than this, right? Anyway, so let us start the test. So he says, okay, first you write the test. You have to write the failing test, and we can start that little by little, right? So let's say that's our basic sanity. Const Fiverr equals new dollar. That's the first thing, and then you have that argument. The first thing is that you have to have some class called dollar, and then we'll just say export class dollar. Then that's a class, and then I guess we have to import it, right? Import dollar from dollar. Okay, so got a constructor. Well, it needs a constructor apparently, so we'll just do that. Constructor, and I'll take that public amount, just the TypeScript shorthand, right? We'll just do that. Number, fine, good enough for now. And what are we? Uh, uh, oh, yeah, export default class because I'm not. Yep, boom. Cool, huh? TDD and instant feedback is amazing. All right, second line. Say we have a tenor, and is that what? Two times. Okay. So Fiverr types two. So what, it needs a method called times. All right, we'll just go make that method. Let's make it times multiplied, obviously. Copilot is smart this time. And I guess this is okay for now. So we'll just make that method and have it return nothing. So that's good. We're passing that one now. All right. And then is using assert, but we can just expect tenor amount to be 10. Yeah, see, GitHub Copilot is good for testing. It's like it's good for the obvious things, but otherwise, I don't know. It's sometimes good. So now we need something called amount. It says fine. We have a member class member. No, we have the amount. So what's it needing? No, so yeah, obviously it's not returning anything. So we'll have it return nil dollar, and then we can hard code that. Boom, test works. So red, 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 and finally green. Like red, green, red, green. We went, one red, one green, one red, one green. And in the beginning, all you got to do is get a green. Doesn't matter how. So obviously, if this was some other number, right? Let's say 20, right? Oh, and then this would be 40, but then your hard-coded value wouldn't work, right? So what would you do to make this hard-coded value not hard-coded? Obviously, we know needs to be something with new dollar. So I'm guessing, this needs this amount time. Yeah, obviously, I see if it's this amount, then it would have to have the same thing. So we're close, but we want the final solution, right? We want 10 times 2. So obviously, that's going to be times the multiplier. Boom. So this is it. This is TDD. Red, you know, and you make green, hard coded, whatever you want to do, and at the end, refactor. I really like TDD because it's almost as ridiculous as having a multiple choice exam and then having all the answers. And then all you have to do is, just fill in the solution, right? That is so easy when you have it that way. I don't know why we don't do it as often, but I kind of have an idea. It's because it's an acquired skill set, right? You have to practice, 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 practice every day. You may hear so many people talk about it, but how do you practice? So it looks like Salim's book is pretty awesome. So you got it in JavaScript, Go, and Python. So in the beginning, he has a forward. He says, you can just do the JS part and do the other languages later, or you can do them all together. I'm going to do the JS part because I work at Extent, which is full stack TypeScript, front end, back end, React, and Node Lambdas. So it's all awesome. So TS and JS from and he has the example in JS, by the way. So he started that way. For that one, I use Quokka. Quokka and Wallaby come together. They can come together. You can get the same license, but effectively that's just like that, right? So if let's say you had this situation here, so you have the answer, right? And then immediately you start writing your class, right? You first fulfill the first thing, and then that's that. And then second thing, okay, it needs something, a method called times. Fine, write that times a multiplier, and you have that, and then you have the equality, right? So something should equal that. So return new dollar 10. Oh, and then of course, obviously, you need the amount, but you get the idea. Wallaby is just one JS file. Anything that runs in Node, just run it there. Well, I'm sorry, Quokka is that. Wallaby is single file. Anyway, so that's his book. So you work in one JavaScript file. But where's the fun in that? You do that, and then you got to do your own thing, right? So my own thing in this case is, um, make it working TypeScript and Jest, and that's how it's done. I think you can go. One should be able to go through all the exercises in the book. You only have it until the refactor phase with this first exercise, but I give you the answer. I am definitely going to get the book. But here are your ultimate resources for TDD. There you go. So definitely get his book. I love it. Just get a free sample, at least try it out. Number two, uh, all time good all time favorites, Dave Farley's course, and he talks about TDD at length. It's kind of his superpower, and it could be your superpower too. So just pick any of these resources, go with it. I'm picking this, and maybe someday in the future I'll go and grind out Cyber-dojo. I saw this in one of Dave Farley's tutorials. So you create a new practice, and it's your familiar coding challenges, and then you select your coding challenge, and then you select the language, which is awesome. That's the best part. Like, say you want JavaScript, but maybe you want sign-on. Fine, you probably want Jest most of the time. And then you proceed, and it takes you through the red-green refactor phase. It's actually really, really cool. And then you can save your progress, right, with that value, so you can come back to bookmark it or whatever later. And then it really takes you through the red green refactor scenario. So obviously, definitely something to try out at some point. But I think those are your pretty solid TDD resources if you want to practice it. And you have to practice it. Right? You have to just sit down every day, uninterrupted, 1 hour a day, practice, 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 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it takes. And these are your three resources that you can master. Wallaby and Quokka, if you like them, I think they're awesome tools. That's all. Have fun. Definitely check out Salim's book. Bye.